We are talking about overcompensation. Most people think overcompensation, they think of people pleasing, but we're also going to talk about the flip side of that coin, about shutting down is a way of overcompensating. So we're going to talk about both sides of that, the pendulum, and how we get there. Constant comment. Welcome in. We'll get started in just a few. Might need to put my hair up. Oh, let me get my questions. Okay. I'm all kind of discombobulated. I don't have my laptop, my normal setup. So bear with me, y'all. I'm excited too because we're going to talk way more about it in the Sacred Middle, but we're going to talk about how fear, control, image management, adaptations, labels, and all of that, how they're all connected and how they play out and around overcompensation. Falling safely, welcome in. Well, thank you, because I appreciate questions. It sparks different rabbit holes to go down and to learn different things. Holly, welcome in, Holly. Heather, hello. Sarah Vesper, what's up, girl? Hello, welcome in. Jet James, welcome in. Hi, lovely. Christy, welcome in. Thank you for the likes, y'all. I'm excited about tonight. We're talking about overcompensation. Most people associate overcompensation with people pleasing. Here to burst y'all bubble that we can overcompensate by also pulling away and avoiding. I know, shocker. But we're going to talk about why that happens. We're going to talk about how the link between fear, control, adaptations, labels, all of that comes into play when we talk about overcompensation. We're going to talk about what happens physically in our body when we talk about overcompensation, right? Like on the biology level, I lean towards image management. Interesting how it intertwines with overcompensating, right? And again, true, welcome in. I truly appreciate when people bring up like, well, what does this mean? Or, ask questions and get curious, because it allows for such a deeper conversation. Welcome in, everybody. Hey, Jet, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. I hope that you stay and something resonates. We appreciate having you here and look forward to hearing your perspective and your thoughts on these things. We'll get started in just a few. Welcome in, everybody. Big overcompensation. Yeah, that's what you were saying, right? Like, yeah. I feel you. No, you're good. No worries. We say fuck perfect here, Jet. So, I knew what you were trying to say. No worries about that. Alyssa, welcome in. And this is why, yep, that's our slogan. Fuck perfect. See you tomorrow. Connection over perfection. That is the goal here. That is the goal. So, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. Welcome in, Alyssa. If tonight is your first night here, put a 1 in the chat so we can just give you a big warm welcome. Thank you. I'm here. This is our property that we just, we'll be moving to this next year. So we're just visiting right now. True is in the house. Welcome. Tonight is your first night. Alyssa, thank you, Holly. Alyssa, tonight is her first night. Let's go. Katie, I see you. Charmaine, welcome in. Roach, welcome in. Thank you. If you're new here, I appreciate you stopping by. I am Coach Amber. I'm a connection and nervous system coach. I help women learn how to feel comfortable in their own skin. After, yes, this is our house. Well, this is our sunroom. I will show you guys the view really fast. So I help women learn how to come home to themselves. Home is a tough word, so I help women learn how to create safety within their body. So if y'all can, oh, it's so hard to see. Hold on. Watch me drop my phone. Very blessed. Megan's in the house. Welcome in, everybody. I'm catching up. Charmaine. Yes, it is very peaceful, very beautiful, very blessed. In April, this will be my permanent living. Well, the house over there. I don't know if you guys could see it, but this is our little sunroom that Frosty and Papa fixed up. Welcome in, everybody. So, I am Coach Amber. Welcome in. Every Monday we meet here, 4 p.m. Pacific, and we have, we talk about a mental health topic. Then after that, I have a small group coaching, all women, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right after this, all women, $20 a seat for 2 hours of group coaching, in-depth coaching, where we break apart all these topics and we talk about how it connects to us personally and guidance through it and all of that. It's the bomb. It's amazing. Check that out. I also do one-on-one coaching. I have a few different packages on how to work with me one-on-one. I am here all about working alongside you in your real life. That is something that I'm so passionate about. Oftentimes when you go see a counselor or a coach, it's like once a month or once every few months. And there's so many gaps in between when real life is fucking happening, right? So working with me, you get one-on-one text messaging all of the time. Okay, so when we do one-on-one, I walk alongside you and help you in your day-to-day triggers. that to me alone is a game changer. I know it was for me, having somebody more available to help me in the moments. And then on top of that, you also have, we do in-depth coaching sessions. I use a lot of somatics. I am trained in emotionally focused therapy and holistic nutrition. I got you come at it from the whole person, so I do group coaching. I do one-on-one. I have freebies. You can go check my link tree. I have all different levels that you can work with me. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. I have some amazing fucking mods. We got the Fire Beneath the Mask. She is also a coach. Check her out. She is healing both sides. Amazing. Tara, she is a mod. I got Holly in the house. She is a recovery coach. She is amazing. She's been on this journey. These women are authentic and real and helping me create safety where trust is really hard to do, right? Dylan's in the house. Welcome. Ray of Sunshine, welcome in. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Kayla's in the house. All right, y'all, we're talking about overcompensation. Before we jump into that, if I miss something, it's not for lack of care. Okay, I got the sun glare. I'm hyped up on this conversation. You guys are amazing. Commenting, that moves fast. My mods got you, okay? If I miss something, they'll let me know. If they miss it, you let them know. That's how we roll, okay? Mom's in the house. Welcome, Mom. This is my mom, Frosty, right there. Oh, you guys can't see my screen, duh. But that's my mom. She is amazing. She has been on this healing journey and is kicking ass. Okay. So the sacred middle. We have a few seats left. We go straight at 5 o'clock. We cut off here about 4:45, 4:50. We go straight to Zoom. That's where the sacred middle is. That's where the all women's group coaching is. That is where you're going to dive deep into. You get to share personal experiences. You get to hear my personal experiences. We get to talk 2 hours about the science behind all of this shit, how it connects, how it flows, what we do about it. This is just a taste of what we get in the sacred middle, okay? I love questions. I also love if you do not agree with me. Why? Because I'm not here to say I am the right one. I'm here to have a conversation with you, to share my knowledge and to say, oh, you know what? Let's check this out. How do we feel about this? Jordan's in the house. Ness, welcome in. So if you don't agree, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, okay? Hell yes, Jordan. So, I will send you, it's the same link, but I will send you a link. So, quick shout out to the nervous system game players. Y'all, that was so fucking amazing. That was so awesome to watch. Thank you for those who participated. Top winner was Tara, the Fire Beneath the Mask, won a whole month of coaching with me. 4 sessions, one-on-one coaching, all month of December, sacred middle seat, and text messaging support, right? Jet, yes, we would love to have you. Oh, Jet, where are you going? We're going to talk for a whole hour about this stuff. We would love if you stayed and chatted. Nervous system games, you guys were amazing. The runner-ups got seats for the sacred middle. So as a thank you, because y'all fucking killed it. That was awesome. Okay, sounds good. Can I get a 1 in the chat if you would like to run the nervous system games again with the same to be able to win coaching packages. Beautiful and blessed. Welcome in. I got ones in the chat. Absolutely. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, I love it. Awesome. We're going to skip December. I'm going to take a little bit of time for myself because I got to remember to practice what I preach, right? I can't help y'all with your nervous system and healing if I'm over here. Well, I mean, I could, but then that wouldn't really be authentic. And that I'm not about that, right? I want to walk. I want to walk the walk. There are seats available, Megan. Welcome in, everybody. I love that. Yeah, thank you, Alyssa, for taking the chance and coming in. Denise Maria is in the house. All right, overcompensation. Overcompensation. Flat out, do you feel like you overcompensate? There might be a lot of no's. Do you feel like you overcompensate? Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like you overcompensate. This is my 1. Carolyn, welcome in. Yes, no, yes. What does that mean? Beautiful question. I love questions. I'm here just making lasagna soup. Oh, that sounds freaking delicious, Katie. No, yeah. Okay, what does overcompensation mean? Okay. So, and we're going to dive a little bit more into the science behind it and what happens, but as a simple, I will get to that next one, Holly. Simple. Overcompensating is doing something to avoid something else. If I had to just simply put it out of my face, overcompensation is doing something to avoid something else. Okay? So most people associate overcompensation with people pleasing. Okay? Most people associate overcompensation with people pleasing. Where, a lot of the times that you will go above and beyond you know what, Denise? Because I'm always here, but when you need me, you show up. You know that I always got something that hits. So, overcompensation, most people associate that with going above and beyond, okay? Going above and beyond to the point where you go to burnout. That's where most people associate overcompensation, right? Would you agree? Put a 1 in the chat if you would agree that for the most part, when you think of overcompensation, that you go above and beyond, you tend to put yourself last, like the martyr, right? You suck it up and you do the things for the other people versus yourself. Joshy's in the chat. I always overdo it. I used to. Always. Yes. I would say no. Hub said I undercompensate. And we're going to talk about that because this came up. Absolutely, I'm getting better slowly. I used to. And you know what? Let's just take a moment for the high fives of being aware of these things, whether overcompensating, undercompensating, just being able to be aware enough to be in the live and get curious. So right now, high five for staying here and getting curious and talking about this conversation. I'm more aware and try to make change. I'm more mindful today. Okay, so also overcompensation can be shutting down. I love it. This one. Overcompensation can be shutting down as well. It can be avoiding. Because guess what? When we avoid, we are also yes. I know, we don't talk about this one a lot, right? We overcompensate to avoid feelings. We shut down so that we avoid feelings. Right? If we go back to that simple, help me out. If I fuck this up of what I said earlier, you asked what overcompensation was, is doing something to avoid something else. Right? So even if it's we're overdoing so somebody doesn't get mad at us, so we don't feel them being disappointed, we can also avoid, or we can also overcompensate by shutting down and pushing people away so that we don't have to feel whatever the feeling is that we don't want to feel. What if we avoid feelings so people don't think we are too sensitive? Yeah. That would be the shutting you down, right? Like what if I avoid feelings so people don't think I am too sensitive? So you're avoiding what they're so we're going to dive deep into this in the sacred middle about image control, right? Or about image management and how that correlates to overcompensation. Okay, so there is a process in which our body goes through. I'll give you the first 3, and then we're going to talk about the rest in the sacred middle, okay? Before we do that, does anybody know the reason we overcompensate? I don't shut down though. I just don't really care, to be honest. Others' chaos isn't my chaos. And we'll talk more about that too, because of the feeling. We don't want to get close to people because what that might mean, right? Their chaos, they might try to put their chaos on us. And what does that mean for us? So we'll talk more about that, and it might be different for other people, right? But this is an area that we haven't really talked about on the overcompensation. Try to control the environment to make sure we are okay. Exactly, right? Whether that's shut down or pursue. I'm working on not isolating by reaching out to supports. Yes. And that comes with creating safety, right? Fear of disappointment for me. Yes. And we're going to talk, I'm 39 messages behind. Holy shit. Okay. And we're going to talk about what is underneath that. Hold on. Let me catch up. Hunter! Are you still here, Hunter? Hunter! To not lose connection, abandonment to matter. Is it a trauma response, or we don't get close to people to avoid being held accountable? Yes. And what's underneath that? Right? We're going to talk about that. Day-Day! Oh, well, you could see the greenhouse. Yes, thank you, Tara, for pinning that, because y'all are amazing. Okay, rejection. All of this comes into, okay? What is underneath that? Hunter, you and I love talking about this conversation. What is underneath all of that? What is underneath abandonment? What is underneath rejection? What is underneath disappointment? What is underneath that? Dea. What's underneath all of that? Alyssa, I love that. Thank you for saying I don't know, because that's a beautiful answer, because sometimes we don't fucking know. Not trusting myself. Fear. Fear. It's fear. Yes. Fear. Okay. And lack of self-esteem. Fear. The root is fear. Now, what I want to say is, fear is not bad. Okay, fear is not bad. But underneath all of that, the fear of disappointment, the fear of rejection, the fear of people leaving, the fear of not being enough, the fear of not being liked, right? Fear. All right, so guess what? Fear is not a thought. Fear is not a thought. Michael, welcome in. Fear is not a thought. That's not where it starts. It might travel to a thought. Do you know where fear starts? Yes. So it starts in our nervous system. It starts in our body. The reason I smiled on that, Jordan, is because I felt like, I don't know if any of you can relate to this that went to Sunday school, but it was like the answer to all of the questions was Jesus, right? And I feel like nervous system. That's always the right answer. The fear is an invitation to explore. Yes. It's an old story that our DNA attached to itself, trauma. When we were not seen or emotionally supported. Coach, welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, copy that. It's in the body. It's a sensation. Okay, it is a sensation. It's not a thought. It's a sensation that happens in your body. And guess what, y'all? You want to know why it's so fucking hard to change habits, to catch triggers, to create new pathways, to change your coping mechanisms? Because it is, you don't even know that it's happening. It happens before you are even aware of it happening. It's the thought we add to it, because fear and excitement, yeah, they can definitely feel very similar, right? It's, hi, baby girl. It is a sensation that our body says is not safe. So if it senses something, thank you, that it has been associated to not feeling safe. Okay, so anytime that your body senses that, it says, I'm not safe. Okay? And it activates your amygdala. Okay? The little teeny almond-shaped part of the brain that lives deep behind your eyes. Okay? Thank you, Linda. So the amygdala, even though it is part of your brain, acts before you even think. Okay, before you speak and before you even know why you're reacting. Okay, are you guys with me? If you're with me, can you put a 1 in the chat? I love, thank you, Mom. Safe. What the fuck does safe mean, right? A lot of people associate, because safe is a word that they might not be able to connect to, so predictable. Can I predict that I'm going to be okay in this sensation? I appreciate you. Right? So your body, when it feels that sensation, it says, am I okay? Am I not going to be okay? And when it feels that sensation that is connected to a not okay, not safe, danger, trauma, it brings that to your current state, right? The body keeps the score. Howdy, partner. Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate you. What if people don't know what or where their safe place is? Beautiful. This is partly what I help you do, is create that within yourself and in at least one person. When I walk alongside you, thank you, Hunter. I appreciate you. Creating how to create solid ground within yourself so that you feel like you have something either predictable, safe, home, I don't care what you call it, but that you can feel connected and grounded a little bit within yourself. And this is what I help people do, because I believe that partly in order to create safety within yourself, you might sometimes have to create it with somebody outside of yourself, because I believe we are created for connection. So we need both internal and external connection. Same with internal and external validation. Thank you, Hunter. I appreciate you. Nathan, welcome in. I receive all of that. Does anybody have any questions first before we keep going? Predictability creates control for my system, and control keeps the shame and panic from flooding in. Yes. And you guys, control isn't bad. We're going to talk more about this. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. Thank you, Hunter. Not just for the gifts, but for believing in me. I don't feel safe anywhere, unfortunately. Yeah, Heather, you're not alone. And this is why I'm so passionate about working with women to create that predictability, that safety in solid ground, in creating something that feels real, that they can begin to trust, they can begin to find comforting. You guys, if I missed something, please just throw it back in the chat. How do you find safety within self? So that's a beautiful question that I cannot completely answer in this live. This is why I do one-on-ones, not because I'm fucking gatekeeping, not because it's all about the money, because you have to experience it. You cannot change. This is why I don't sit up here and claim to have a secret formula for y'all, right? Because it is fucking work. And it takes time. I don't sugarcoat that shit. I'm not here trying to sell you some formula that I'm saying is going to work overnight. Abso-fucking-lutely not. This is why I work with women daily. Okay? One-on-one. Because you don't create safety in one session. You don't create safety from one live, 1 hour. You create it in micro steps. Thank you. I appreciate you, Hunter. Flabbergasted, welcome in. Because what are we lacking? Trust, safety, predictability. How do you create that? You create that by consistency, over and over and over. You have to create some sort of predictability so that you can take emotional risks, so that you can practice vulnerability. The whole thing of what we're talking about tonight, you guys, overcompensation. Fuck, I lost my thought. Hold on. Fuck, it was a good phrase. Let me look at my notes because it's super important. What I help women learn how to do in creating safety for themselves to feel connected to themselves is the same thing that we're talking about overcompensation, is how to stay with yourself. Okay, it's not about making the shit go away. It's not about never spiraling. It's not about abandoning fear. It's not about abandoning all of the shadow parts of you. Okay, it's about getting curious and understand how to not leave yourself in those sensations. So when we are overcompensating, this ties right back in. So Megan, thank you for your question, because it ties right back in. Overcompensation, we do overcompensation whether we leave ourselves, whether we avoid, disconnect, or pursue, because we are avoiding the sensation in our body, because the fear tells us that we cannot handle feeling this way. We will not survive feeling this way. That is what our fear tells us. The sensation in our body from information from prior that it is not safe to feel this, and we may not survive if we feel this, so we have to avoid the feeling by overcompensating. Alyssa, that would make sense, right? That overcompensating, or I'm sorry, the copying. Take a deep breath. The copying, I would imagine, is to feel like you can fit in, accepted. You can correct me if I'm wrong. A fleeting sense of, yeah. Yeah, that makes so much sense. I love the questions. Thank you, guys. It is sad, and if we stop right here, right? That little Alyssa, or the little Amber, or the little whoever. What the fuck is that? That was amazing. That was beautiful. Thank you, Hunter. We'll talk more about it, but I appreciate, Hunter, you allowing, you support my bigness, and that means more to me than you know, because it's an area that I struggle in, and so I appreciate you a lot. Not just because of the fucking gifts. Yeah, he's a brother from another mother. We miss him on this app. He's over doing big stuff on other places. But make sure to pick him up. He's awesome. So it is sad, right? The little girl that we felt like maybe we had to be somebody else because who we were wasn't getting the love. He's okay. And that is sad. That's sad that we didn't have somebody there to be like, hey, you're enough. And I love you just the way you are. Instead, we had programming and rules, not because maybe there wasn't love, right? It's they didn't know better either. It's sad for everybody that in order to be loved, you have to do this. And so we learned in order to be seen, in order to get love, to fit in, to be accepted, to feel connected, wanted, seen, we had to change who we were. Yeah, like for the parents, for the kids, for the grandparents. It is sad. And Alyssa, part of this journey is, there is a grief of a life that we didn't get to experience, that was taken from us, that you could have been. Right? There is a whole grief in that. And while we can say that, there's nothing we could do about it, they didn't know better either, that is true too, but there needs to be space to honor that grief. Okay, don't make me cry. Right? And so, Alyssa, my mom is Frosty, right? So I knew that my mom loved me so very much. But and my daughter, I have a 23-year-old, and she experienced this too, right? Because we didn't know better. We just did what we were either taught or the opposite of what we were taught, so we could try to overcompensate and avoid whatever feeling that we had, right? It's cold. So here we love to talk about honoring both sides and the middle. And this is why you'll hear us talking a lot about the sacred middle, right? Thank you, Jordan. Is understanding both sides, but the middle is being able to flow through it and feel both, not one or the other, not choosing one. Let me shut the window and then I'll see. I'll let you know. Thanks, Mom. The trauma baton gets passed when pain stays unhealed and each generation carries the hit. 1,000%. Someone close to me says they love me in words. Actions aren't always present and it hurts. Well, it can also be really confusing, right? Because to be honest, a lot of us don't know how to love. What the fuck is love? What is love to you? Love to me is feeling seen, heard, validated, where I am mentally, emotionally, and physically safe. That feels like genuine love. Or people working on that, working towards that. We say fuck perfect here. Okay, it's connection over perfection. So we're not aiming for perfection here. We're not going to get it all right. I just asked myself that question yesterday, but I didn't know how to answer it. Yeah, for me, love is mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually safe. And what does safe mean to me? Safe means that I'm seen, heard, and validated, or the aim for that, right? Because we're going to miss the mark a lot. But if we're working towards that, or that person is working towards that, so this person is very materialistic. Well, I don't think that has anything to do with the way that they love you. That's something different. And in fact, I would get curious about what that means for you, why that affects you. Covert contracts are just as painful to receive from those who require action. Covert contracts are just as painful to receive from those who require action. Yeah, you mean so like expecting somebody to show up, right? To show up a certain way. When we have expectations, covert contracts have been made. And basically a covert contract is just an expectation that has not been talked about. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Tara. But in a nutshell, creating an expectation that isn't agreed upon, or even isn't even communicated out loud, even to maybe oneself. I don't know how to love myself, so I had no love to give, or I thought. Right? And you know what? Who's heard that? If you don't love yourself, then how can you love somebody else? Do you guys agree with that? Do you think that you can love somebody else if you don't love yourself? I want to hear what you guys think. Unset expectations, yes. Judgment, yeah. Do you think that you can love somebody else if you can't love yourself? We have some nope, not fully, and then some are like abso-fucking-lutely you can. Oh, you meant no. Okay, absolutely not. Jordan says yes. I think so, but not healthy most of the time if we're lacking it for ourselves. And also, before we... Oh, how is it already 4:40? Okay, two things before we hop. Okay, one is that how much shame is created around things, people telling people that you can't do something unless you have something, right? Whether or not that is true, like how much confusion and shame and comes up for us when the phrase you can't love somebody unless you love you love yourself. Let's just talk about how confusing that is. Like, okay, so then what the fuck? Am I if I can't love myself, if I don't feel connected to myself, does that mean I'm a bad mom? Do I not love my kids? Do I not love my family? Do I not love my friends because I don't know how to give it to myself? What if I've never even felt love? Right? So already there's just so much confusion around this. And then, if we stop, how much shame then comes up that we don't talk about, right, around this. I know we're kind of a little bit off topic, but it comes back, because then guess what? If we don't feel like we can love because we don't know how to love ourselves, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Full circle. We're going to overcompensate. We're going to overcompensate by either overgiving to try to prove our love, or shut it off because we're not proving shit. Okay? So, if you have questions, throw them in the chat. There is still time to purchase your seat for the Sacred Middle. Alyssa, would you like to attend the Sacred Middle as a gifted seat? Are you available to attend tonight? Loving without self-love carries shame because I know I'm offering need instead of real intimacy. Yes, thank you. And I'm gonna touch on that before we end. Okay, welcome in. Alyssa, let me know if that's something that you're interested in. So it's right now so it'll be from 5 p.m. Pacific. It's 2 hours. So we end at 7. If you're available, there is a gifted seat for you. If you can message me on TikTok your email address, I will email you the Zoom link. If you're down, put it in the chat. Okay, so can we love if we don't truly love ourselves? We can give what we can, right? But when we begin to understand maybe what love could mean in a different, healthier version, where we're in a more unconditional type forward motion, I like to say safety, right? Love with safety, or love that's safe without judgment, that is safe to be seen, safe to make mistakes. We are going to change what love means, and we're going to show up differently. It's going to feel differently, right? A love where is less conditional. Oh, got to do a puzzle. Hold on. Yes, thank you everybody for checking. I'm down. I feel like we become people pleasers if we don't love ourselves, and that can lead to shame. Right, Ray, thank you for the follow. And how do we learn to love ourselves, right? Creating safety within ourselves, creating trust within ourselves, stability, predictability. Sometimes that may come from an outside source before it comes from an inside source. Why? Because on this journey, you may have to experience love. You may have to experience safety. You might have to experience that outside of yourself from somebody else to be able to know how the fuck to give it to yourself, to know how the fuck to give it to somebody else, right? But if you have nobody giving you that, nobody being an example, nobody being safe for you, nobody showing you what a new kind of love could be like, that is where you're safe to be, you are not going to know how to give that to yourself or how to give it to others. Ryan, thank you. Okay. So, I believe that we can love to the capacity in which we can love others and ourselves. But I think that just like everything else, we can create something that feels better for everyone. A love that allows for humanness with grace and understanding, that has less judgment, right? We're human, so I'm not going to sit here and say love is never going to judge. Love is never going to do this. I personally don't believe as humans that we are going to be able to get rid of all that shit. It's what we do in those moments. I am going to judge, right? I'm going to judge my mom. But then guess what? Love to me, true love is being able to go to her and talk to her about it, and to us to be able to feel and go back and forth, right? Where we both have space to be human, and we both have space to be seen, and we both have space to show the parts of us that we have been told that we have to shut off. It's not about making this shit go away. Love is not this perfect person, in my opinion. Are there any other questions before we end tonight? If you got something out of tonight, put a 1 in the chat. Oh, thank you. Okay, awesome. If you got something out of tonight, I would greatly appreciate if you shared a video of mine to somebody that you think my content would resonate. Invite them next Monday. Let them know that there's somebody out there that understands what they're going through and can help them. Invite a friend next time. Yes. Okay, I'm going to check on here if I can. I don't have my normal setup, so let me just make sure that, Alyssa, I have your email. Shoot. It's buffering. Hold on. Katie, did you message me? Alyssa. My bad. Hello. Yes, we have a Discord, Alyssa. Let me see if it's in like my other messages. Mom Walker Hayes messaged me. Alyssa, I don't see a message from you. Oh, got you. Okay, so I just want to make sure that, can you hop out of the live and click on and send me a message and then hop back in the live? Because I don't want to end this until I know that we're connected to get you that spot. Got you, girl. Okay, so I am going to email you this right now. Welcome in. There are still just a few seats left for the Sacred Middle. So if you want to hop over, go purchase a ticket and we will get started in just a few. What are we talking about next week? Let me frickin' frack. Is anybody able to go to the Sacred Middle page and see what our topic is next week by chance? Thank you. Welcome in, everybody. We're just ending. I appreciate you guys being here. I don't know why I can't find Discord on my iPad. That's a problem. Oh. No, it's not there either. What the fuck? Oh. No, it's not there either. What the fuck? Thank you, Ryan. You too. Mark, welcome in. Okay, the pendulum swings. We're going to talk about labels. The pendulum swings. We're actually going to talk about label. Let's take a vote. Let's take a vote while you guys are here. I know, sorry. Let's take a vote. Do you want to talk about pendulum swings or do you want to talk about labels? There's 7 of you to vote. We got 1 vote so far. Any other? Both are great topics. Some like labels. Yes, for next Monday. So the pendulum swing is basically when you grow up and your coping mechanism, let's just use labels as a quick example before we end. So say one side, oh, you're going to get triggered. Usually everything I talk about triggers something, Alyssa. That's just a forewarning. Okay, no worries. Thank you, Holly. Labels. It was astounding labels, but the pendulum is one side or the other, right? So like if people were to say empath or narcissist, pursuer or avoidant, a lot of people would also be like, if you were if you're a people pleaser when you grow up, you will swing naturally to the other side of the pendulum, and then people will be like, oh, now you just don't care, right? So we'll talk about why that happens and all the in-between. Triggers are fucked up and beautiful at the same time. But I will, we walk through the triggers and we hold space. Triggers are, I think I just made a post about this, Alyssa. Triggers are our body talking to us. It's saying that there's something there to get curious about. Okay. Alyssa, I am going to email you this right now. We're going to... Everything works. In fact, I'm just going to stay on and do this right now because I want to make sure that it goes through. We're just going to do it in real time. I'm going to label it Zoom. Thank you for being patient, y'all. Okay. That is sent. I sent that to you, Alyssa. I'm trying to turn my triggers into glimmers. Yeah, and we can sometimes, but it's not always going to feel like a glimmer. That's for damn sure. Afterwards, right, it can be like, oh, when we get curious about it, but in the moment, that shit. Alyssa, I'm not sure if you're able to let me know if you got that email. Hi, Jen. How are you? Thank you. I appreciate you. We are hopping off in just a second to head over to the Sacred Middle. We are talking about overcompensation tonight. No worries. We're ending now anyway, but thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. I'm just making sure that this email went through and that we're good to go. Oh, I need to make sure I send that to Jordan too. She might still have it, but. Jordan, do you still have the link, or do you need me to send it to you? Okay, you don't. Okay, let me, I think I already have yours saved, Jordan. Jordan, for simplicity, can you just message me your, oh, never mind. I got it. I got it. Okay, is everybody good? I sent that over to you, Jordan. Okay, I think everybody is good. Jordan, you also have my phone number, so you could just text me if you don't get it for some reason. I appreciate you guys. Remember, fuck perfect. We'll see you we'll see you next week. We're going to talk about labels. That was the consensus. So have an amazing night, and I appreciate you guys.